Do you feel like you're living in a matrix where your self-worth is tied to somebody else's pockets? What if I told you that there's a way out? For you not only to own your hidden strengths, but also to turn them into money. What does living in a matrix look like? Now, you may have to perform a certain way, nothing out of the line, and you have to produce certain results in certain time. You can only and only use certain strengths. You cannot go beyond. You cannot use your creativity. You cannot use your curious mind. It's like running on a treadmill, constantly chasing those numbers, those deadlines, and those expectations set by somebody else. What if I told you that a fraction of those efforts and energy could bring you even more money? Because the real game changer for wealth is not how hard you work, it's how much you understand and use your unique strengths. We will be diving deep into this to your core in our money power circle. But before that, watch this video till the end, and what you will learn is that you already right now have those strengths that you can encash into money and more money and more money, and then money brings you more money, and that's how wealth consciousness works, not the matrix. Most of us have been conditioned that success comes from traditional strengths like being super fast, being productive, being busy throughout the day. But what if your so-called weakness could actually be a strength? I'll give you an example. There are two people who are majorly responsible for my abundant life that's also very satisfying and purpose-driven. They're not the ones who pinpointed at my strengths. They are the ones who made me realize that my so-called weakness was actually my strength. And when I realized it, I encashed that into money. In fact, I didn't do anything. It got encashed into money and wealth. So what happened was, I got this feedback from two people who I sort of looked up to. And they both said one thing to me, that you have so much potential. Why are you wasting your time in learning about mindset, being so active in self-development? You're a chartered accountant, do CA work. You know, in that moment, something just clicked in my mind. And I realized that, whoa, I am so dedicated and committed and passionate about self-development. Why not take this seriously and share it with a wider world and not just a few people that I'm connected to that I, keep guiding? That's exactly when I turned that into a business and things started happening for me. My effort meter went way down and the impact went way up. I started getting clients left, right, and center. Why? Because subconsciously I moved from claiming that passion towards self development as a weakness to a strength. I'll give you one more perspective shift here. The real strengths that will make you lakhs and crores are the ones that you owned and just without thinking practiced in the first 2 decades of your life before you got serious and before you started molding yourself to fit in the system that is very matrix driven. Think back. What did you love doing effortlessly as a teen or as a child? Were you a storyteller? Did you lead people, inspire people? Were you creative in your endeavors? Were you the one always creating something with your hands? Were you the one who would always come home with some sort of scrap that you found while you were playing outside and create something out of it? Were you the one who would write beautiful things? Were you the one who was very expressive with your emotions? What was that you were so good in your first 2 decades that it came so effortlessly and you would not even realize when time would pass and you would be fully engaged in those things? Those trends didn't disappear. They're still there, it's just that they got really suppressed. The reason why you overlook them is very simple. Your mind is still wired to the judgments you received in your childhood for your strengths. Maybe you were told that your creativity is impractical, or your empathy is too emotional, or your creativity is distracting. But those very things, they are gold mines. For example, I was told in my childhood that I was too casual. And what they really meant was that I would not overstress on things. And that's the exact kind of weakness that I turned into my strength. With deep mindset work, I realized that wasn't a weakness. That's a beautiful strength that I now use in my business. In other words, being casual meant doing things and having things effortlessly. And in fact, that strength has gotten me a lot of results. It was only in my 20s that I got cut off from that beautiful strength, and with the inner work, I reconnected with it and started making money really effortlessly. Another reason that you're not using your strengths to make money is because you believe that there's no market to it. You're still living in pre-pandemic era. Have you observed that what we buy and how we buy has been totally transformed after the pandemic? The artistic things that were just meant to be hobbies way earlier in our life are now making millions for people, while people in traditional careers are sort of struggling to make their profits. The reason is the consciousness of the planet has changed. What we value has changed. Because after the pandemic, we all started to realize how deeply we were in the matrix, and slowly the humanity has started taking charge of creating their life on their own terms just because it is possible. What's the power of your mind? So start rewiring your brain now. Expose your mind to all those people who are writers, creators, artists, and whatnot, and making great money for themselves. Moreover, when you step into communities where people are now living their life on their own terms, making money in their own way that makes them happy every day, that work doesn't feel like work, your brain starts to expand. You realize that not only it's possible, it's inevitable, only if we choose to see it. And that's exactly what we do in our community, and that's why we are able to get such beautiful results in such short amount of time, because there are people who move from a job that they did not like into a business that they are loving. There are people who are struggling in their business so hard, they were pressured by the expectations of their investors, their family, and they found a way that really makes their heart sing. There are people who are now doing a side business, a side income with their main job. Why? Because they were able to realize that they can do it, number one, and second, they were able to identify their passion that was always there under their nose. It just took some mindset shifts for them to see it and acknowledge it. Bringing all of this together, let's turn this into your reality. I want you to do these 4 things to turn your strengths into money. Number 1, look back into your childhood and write down all the strengths that belonged to you, that felt natural. Number 2, reframe that judgment that you received. Now, write down any negative comments that you received in your childhood for those passions or strengths that you have and see them in a positive light. The question is, what if those are your assets? Third, expose yourself to different communities, whether online or offline. Make little effort to expose yourselves to different realities where people are following their hearts and living an abundant life, because both are possible together. 4, test the waters. Actually dip your toes in the water and do something about your strengths. Now, you don't have to make a website, launch a program right away. And I'm saying this because your mind perceives making a new choice as fully diving into it, and that you cannot fail. You have to make it happen. And because of this, you get overwhelmed and you don't start in the first place. Do something really small. Now, it could be just messaging in a community that, hey guys, I do XYZ quite well. I'm offering a free slot to do this service for you. It could be just starting your own community, and you can write about it in different platforms that, hey guys, I love styling a lot, and I'm thinking of just sharing my notes, everything that I've learned over the years in my community. It's totally free. You can come and join. But you can just start creating content around that and have fun with it, right? You could just put up one story, that's it. It will tell your subconscious that you're not just talking about it, you're serious about it, and you're actually taking certain actions towards it. When you start taking these small actions, you'll be knee deep in the water and you will forget about the fact that the strengths that you are using today were once either ignored or were tagged as weaknesses. And you will create your own market for those beautiful strengths. Why? Because there is market for everything. I'm really excited to hear what strengths you've been ignoring and now you're gonna own, so let me know in the comments. Also, imagine that you stop sitting on your limiting thoughts, your fears, your doubts, your anxieties, and you start giving more energy and actions, beautiful, easy, effortless actions, into your strengths, into your dreams, so that your life starts changing now into the direction of the values that you want to live. You might want more freedom in your life, more joy in your life, more love in your life, more wealth in your life. And imagine doing this with me every week in a community that is all about holistic growth. If you just got a little excited listening to that, then stay tuned. I am coming up with a money power circle. It's not only super friendly, no, not only it's going to be your heart friendly, oh my god. Not only it's going to be your heart friendly, but also pocket friendly. That's the best way I could come up with to express this. So the point being, I realized that my private coaching is $12,000 per person, and not everybody right now can jump into it right away. So I wanted to bring all the juice of all the work that I've done with my incredible people so far and put it in a system, in a circle, in a community who is so ready to change their lives right now, and so that it's also easy for them to invest. It's going to be like less than $100 or something, maybe less than $50. And I haven't decided that yet. Right now, I'm in the process of creating it. For you to get the best price, you can join a free WhatsApp community where we also do free sessions. So you don't miss the best offer, and also you don't miss the free weekly sessions that we are doing. And people are making a lot of money just through those free sessions. So stop living by somebody else's rules and start living a life in which money flows to you through your unique gifts with purpose and effortlessly. I'm Yuvika, your mindset shifting coach, and I'm going to see you in the next video.